Hi, Sunnies. Indulge me in my version of OT Genesis. I'm in love with the CoCo. I call it God's in love with your morals. All right? Ready? Praise him louder. You can praise him louder. Praise him louder. You can praise him louder. You made it through the ash with him. Woo, woo, woo. Glowing up like a phoenix with him. God's in love with your morals. He is. God's in love with your morals. Kept it real without going low. You did. So God's in love with your morals. God's in love with your morals. He is. God's in love with your morals. Kept it real without going low. You did. So God's in love with your morals. Welcome to Beaming Light. I am Danita. Beaming stands for bold, enlightened, aware, mature, insightful, nurturing, grateful. Light stands for loving, intelligent, generous, honest, and tactful. Welcome to my channel where I change up song lyrics and connect them to Bible verses and my personal experiences. It's like sometimes I get that right and sometimes I don't. Okay, so bear with me. You know I've been having camera issues. But yes, on that note of God's in love with your morals, we're going to look at 1 Corinthians chapter 15, 32 through 35. I'm in love with the CoCo. The purest love is God. I'm in love with the CoCo. The purest love is God. So in this case, CoCo is not going to stand with, we stand for Corinthians, like CoCo and Corinthians, right? But I'm going to say that it is continuing our Christ-like obedience. Again, continuing our Christ-like obedience. We're going to use Christ-like in one word. So yes, welcome. Let me move this to the side. I hope you guys are having a great week. It is Wednesday. I actually recorded yesterday, but I wasn't feeling it. And let's get into why. So yesterday I had a surprise visitor from Mr. Dan, and he just like popped up. And when is the last time I posted about him? Whenever he sent the sheriff to do a wellness check, and so he popped up after that, which is crazy, is because he's been reaching out to my dad, and he asked my dad for my number, or something like that. He said, tell her I've been trying to get in touch with her. And so my dad told me, whatever, he texted me. He was like, I'm giving it to you. And I was like, yeah, you can say, whatever. So he popped up, and I'm standing and I'm looking at him, and y'all, it's just, God's in love with your morals. You didn't go no, like you kept it real without going low. You did. I kept it real without going low. I was just like, look, I'm just really heavy on my boundaries right now. I appreciate you taking the time to come and check, but I'm good. If anything were wrong, you would be notified. So like, I'm just focused on me, and I think you should focus on you right now. But thank you and take care. And he kept saying, I miss you and I love you. Y'all. And he came here with the Xavier Dad shirt on. So number one, he wears that when he's trying to get something. What I have learned about him is that, like a lot of people, they only want to have you around when it's convenient. Meaning they want to use you or manipulate you. And when they can't do that anymore, they get upset and try to destroy your character. And I'm not saying that. I am going to say this. Do I think that he was in? Yes. On some of the stuff that was happening to me? Yes, I do. Is there a desire to continue a relationship with him? No. Is there any hope for reconciliation in the future? Possibly. No. Is there any animosity on my end? No. If there was animosity, I wouldn't have answered the door. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't have. I hope that gave him some form of closure, because the truth is I can't trust him. And I don't want to enter a new season in my life with people that I cannot trust. A lot was done. Like, y'all, I want to share this with you. I was setting my alarm one night, and he was here. And I went to bed, right? And he slept on the sofa. Apparently he was sick. He literally triggered the alarm. Like, he opened up the garage door to trigger the alarm so I could come out in a panic and have to put the code in. Do you know, I look turn around, look behind me, and he's like watching me put the code in. Red flag. Huge red flag. So that alone right there told me I can't, like, you can't trust him. You can't trust him. And it's sad, Sonnies. And, you know, and I'm sure some people can resonate with this, but I hope you can't. I really hope, like, my story is like, what? I cannot believe her dad. Like, I hope you would not be able to resonate with, like, the fact that Mr. Dan did that. Like, you know, somebody that says that they're your dad. Let's say it like that, not her dad. If somebody that says or calls himself your dad did that, yes, they did. I hope you wouldn't be able to resonate with this, because I would want for you to be in a healthy, functional, familial relationships with your mom, your dad, your sisters, your brothers, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, like healthy relationships where you can actually trust people. You're not coming back and then you're figuring out all this other stuff has happened and transpired and these people were behind it. But yes, I really, really pray that this does not resonate with you. But if it does, trust you are not alone in this world. Things, when you get to a certain point in life, sometimes everybody can't take the journey. And it's not because you don't want people to take the journey with you. It's just because sometimes you get to a certain space where people may jeopardize your journey for their personal gain. And it's like, if you want to take those kind of chances in your life, by all means, go ahead. But you're not going to take them in mine. So that's the difference. That's where boundaries come into play. Very heavy. Like, you're not going to take those kinds of chances and risk putting me as in harm's way. If you want to do that with yourself, fine, but you're not going to put me in harm's way. I don't move like that. Let's get into 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 32 through 34. God's in love with your morals. He is. All right, so 1 Corinthians chapter 15. Oh, man, I didn't mark it. That's okay. It's right here. 32 to 34. Give me 1 second. Turn one more page and we should be there. Here it is. All right. It says, one more page. Okay. If I fought wild beasts in Ephesus as a mere man, what good did that do me? If the dead are not raised, let us eat and drink, for tomorrow we die. Do not be deceived. Bad company corrupts good morals. Come to your senses and stop sinning. For some people are ignorant about God. I say this to your shame. Again, I want to read that again. If I fought wild beasts in Ephesus as a mere man, what good did that do me? If the dead are not raised, let us eat and drink, for tomorrow we die. Do not be deceived. Bad company corrupts good morals. Come to your senses and stop sinning, for some people are ignorant about God. I say this to you. I say this to your shame. So, bad company corrupts good morals. You really have to be mindful of the people you have in your circle. And that's even your family and your parents, your siblings. I mean, it's the truth. It's not that you can't assist and aid when necessary, but sometimes, like, you have to move along to make progress, you know? And like Jay-Z says, they something about, like, I moved along, you know, I'll give back. And that's, to me, is a win-win. Like, if you are able to help other people, you know what I'm saying? Like, the purpose of going forward in life and progressing is so that you can turn around and help individuals as necessary. But you got to take that walk alone. Not everybody can walk with you, right? Not everybody can go through the same doors. Oh, my nose is itching. Bad company corrupts good morals. So, and you really have to, this is again, like, check your network, because your network defines your net worth. You know, God is moving in your life and creating so many new avenues, and beautiful doors are opening, and you really want to be mindful about who you take on this journey, if you can take people on this journey. And again, this is not any disrespect to what people do or anything. Like, a lot of people are, like, I have some siblings that are doing really, really well in life, right? But what I'm saying is, like, I have noticed too from them, like they have taken a step back from him. You see what I mean? Like, it's like everybody has to do what works for them in their household. You have to do what works for you in your household. If you own a home. But if you're in a space where you're still like, you're with your parents and you're trying to figure out your next move, or, you're noticing that your brother or your sister doesn't support your dream, then it's kind of like, okay, well, you understand that now. You get that. That's some clarity there. So let me just kind of move in silence. And now I know, like, if you didn't support me here, then I can't take you there. Or I can't help. You know what I mean? Like, everything works out differently for people. It's just your perspective. But I'm understanding their perspective now. Like, I'm like, oh, I see why y'all move a certain way. Because, I've never grew up in a home with him. I've never had a consistent relationship with him. So for him to be so worried about me at the age of almost 40, it's kind of like, where is this coming from? And it's coming from a place of greed. It's coming from a place of pride. And it's not just him. It's other people. People don't want you to succeed in life, especially if you're doing better than them. This is one of my favorite sayings. People want to see you doing good. They want to see you win, but they don't want to see you better than them. They don't want to see you have more than them. And in my eyes, we can all shine. Everybody can win. It's just the mentality you have. And, you can't compare your wins to somebody else's wins. You can't compare your losses to somebody else's losses either. Just don't compare your life to anybody else in general. This is a good quote. It came from a bad person, but it is a good quote. It says, comparison is the thief of joy. And it's true. If you constantly compare yourself to other people and not running your race, it's going to steal your joy, your peace, the love you have. What's crazy is that bad company can corrupt good morals, but also that sometimes you learn a lot from the bad company. Not saying that you are participating in the foolery, but saying that maybe sometimes when you take a step back, you were like, that's how they move it. I ain't gonna move like that. Like, you learn how not to move from certain people. Like I say, the shows you watch, the music you listen to, the stories you read, the news, all of that can show you how not to move. Honestly, this is gonna sound, it is what it is. In real life, like, these people have gotten themselves in so much trouble that it's like jail, or are they gonna make it out alive? That's where it's at. It's like, and it's not that you want to see that for them. It's because the hole is too deep. You have to be careful with you have to be careful with the company you keep. You really, really do. Because like that person that said that comparison is the thief of joy, I don't know if that was a bad person. It's like, what kind of bad people are you attached to? You don't know who's behind them. Like, just like they don't know who's behind you. You're a good person. Like, what good people are attached to you? What's nuts about it for you, Sunnies, is that you have angels and you have some people that are like ready to raise hell. I don't want to call them demons, but I'm going to definitely say they are hell raisers. Like, you have those people on your team where it's like, if your peace is disturbed, they're ready to raise hell behind your peace. Do you understand how powerful you are? You understand how powerful your love is? How amazing you are? If you could take all of that and put it into yourself, your effort, what your goals are, what you're working towards. Now you've identified most of the people that, I'm going to say most, if not all. There's probably still going to be some people that over time, like I said before in previous videos, over time, things are just going to continue to come up and you're going to learn new information, bits and pieces at the time. You may never, ever get the full story, but can you have peace in moving forward in that? Can you accept what you know and say, maybe some things I should know? Because if that's a bad person, it's like, who else are they attached to that's bad? That, like, what did you do to get around See what I'm saying? Like, how did these bad people accept you into their group? What did you have to do? What did they do? Sometimes you don't want to know all of that. Sometimes you just need to know that that's a bad person, and if you're a bad person, most of the time, like 99% of your team is your clique is bad. You might have 1% that are unaware that you're that terrible of a person. But the people who are aware, like maybe that 1%, if they are aware, what should they do? I don't know, y'all. What you think they should do? I mean.